I don't really know. I think that maybe sound is more, I can't remember the word. It's more involving and it's more immersive than two-dimensional images or moving images. Therefore, you get a greater feeling of being present with a sound recording than you do with a visual image recording. And I think that probably brings you more easily to an emotional response. So in that respect, sound, I think, makes it possible to have a more profound emotional response than a visual image recording. Although all our senses are always working together, so to make that kind of separation is probably false. I really don't know how to answer that. I'm not really sure. When people talk about identity a lot, I must confess I've never really understood what they're talking about. I mean, my identity, the town's identity, a national identity, I think one needs to be more defined in the terms. I mean, personally, I listen a lot, and therefore it has to do with myself. I don't like the word identity very much. My favourite London sound keeps changing. I don't think I have a single one, but at the moment I like the sound of the collection of bottles, glass bottles from the street, because a few years ago there are different systems for collecting London's waste, and now we have to put bottles in one place and paper in another place and kitchen waste in another. And when they collect the bottles up, they rattle and clink, and it's quite a musical sound, and you hear the lorry coming down the street, and the clinking bottle sound gets closer and closer and closer and goes away again. I love that sound. It's a great sound. Oh, many. I mean, I travel a lot, and so I've been to many places in the last couple of years. One of my favourite places for sound was Beijing, and in the parks of Beijing, people gather to perform or do play, to do theatre, to speak, to make music. Often they gather in the same place and perform very close to each other. So if you are listening to one, you are hearing 10 other groups at the same time, and the clashes and the mixing and the juxtaposition is a fantastic sound. I enjoyed that very much. Well, I think it's a great source of knowledge, because hearing enables you to gather information, to appreciate, to have a response to the environment. But then so does seeing, smelling, touching, feeling, tasting. Sound is very important, but it's not the only thing that's important. More and more it interests me how our senses interact to create our composite or our whole feeling. But sound is very important. I think, a much more importance than is generally recognised.